Welcome back, dear viewers, and our first guest of the evening is Engineer Talal Almuhanna, entrepreneur and economist. Good evening, Mr. Talal, and it's really a pleasure to have you again with us on Hala Kuwait.
Likewise, it's always my pleasure.
Pleasure is ours. So, will you please tell us and share with us
Okay.
and give us all the information regarding starting a new or small business?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank KTV too, and thank you and thank the cast for having me here for like the third or fourth time.
It's our pleasure always.
And well, the good news is that we can now start our businesses online using the e-commerce, or let's call it the e-government platform called the Business Center.
Exactly.
There's this, platform dedicated by the Ministry of Commerce. It was launched back in like 4 or 5 years ago, and now it's working perfectly. You can finish let's say the first 50% of the process within days. And where it used to be like, 3 months or 4 months, now
Exactly.
it's shortened to like 5 to 6 days max, working days.
Exactly.
So you can definitely, finish all the whole process, going through the papers of establishment in the Ministry of Commerce, and then moving to the municipality and the Ministry of Justice, then going back to your bank, opening up an account, authenticating this account, then go back to the Ministry of Commerce. All of this is done electronically, where it used to be done, and manually. You have to go, walking between the ministries and, finding,
Exactly.
go through the hassle of finding, parkings and what have you. And there's no human interaction anymore.
Exactly.
So the first 50% at least is done effectively and efficiently, perfectly now,
Okay.
and smoothly as well.
Okay, so when you just mentioned something related to the paperwork, how long it takes approximately for the paperwork to finish or process
Well, see,
until we start our business?
If you wanted to go through the whole process, so the 100%, then usually, in the past it used to be like 5 months, 6 months. Now it's shortened to 2 months.
That's great.
The first 50% is done within days. But then the remaining 50%, where you have to pay another visit to the Ministry of Commerce, to the municipality, and the Ministry of Social Affairs, Manpower Department, basically, you have to do it manually. Until now, they're not done. They're not automating this part, because you have to ask for a site visit to your location of the business. That
Exactly.
usually takes 3 weeks to a month to get somebody, an official from these areas, to visit your location to get approved. That's the obstacle remaining of automating the whole process.
Exactly. So we are still at the start of starting the business.
Yes.
Or the beginnings. What are the problems that usually faces someone, like when they start their own business, or the early levels?
Okay, see, any business, like a human being, any business goes through 4 phases. You have the launch phase, you have the incline phase, the maturity phase, then the decline phase. In the launch phase, you have to go through 4 areas. You have to go through the operations phase, you have to go through the marketing phase, the legal phase, then the strategies.
Definitely, which is really great information, Engineer Talal. We will take a break, dear viewers, and we will be right back with Engineer Talal Almuhanna. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers, and we are back with Engineer Talal Almuhanna, entrepreneur and economist, and we will talk about how we start up our small businesses and what are the problems related to it. Welcome back, Engineer Talal.
Thank you.
And we're interested to know more about the problems that might occur during the start of the small business.
Let's put it that way. Sure. Well, usually most entrepreneurs or small business owners, they have a lack of knowledge in legal issues, or let's say legal knowledge. Then the operation knowledge. So these two areas are paramount. Legal knowledge, they have to know what type of licensing they need to have or to acquire.
Exactly.
And also they need to know what type of activity they need to license and which activities can be combined together and what two activities belong to the same category.
That's great.
So they need to do some readings, honestly, and research and educate themselves before jumping into the pool.
That's perfect.
It's you know, as they say, it's easy, but time consuming.
Being precautious is also good.
They have to be precautious. They have to study the risks, basically. And then they have to educate themselves with regards to the operations of the business. When we talk about operations, we're talking about the products they want to offer. They have to know what staff they need to hire, the location, why they're choosing this location, the size of the location, the layout of the location, you know, from an engineering perspective, inventory, supply chain management, and working hours of the business. If they need to do some, you know, bonus scheme or, you know, incentive scheme for their employees to encourage them to keep working, you know, perfectly, and what are the levels of quality they need to sustain to keep the business running, to ensure customer satisfaction.
Exactly.
So all of this they have to do some study on.
Definitely. So you mentioned researches and studies. We heard about something, like a lot of people, they mention visibility studies.
Yes.
Or visibility study to a business you want to start.
Exactly.
So will you please tell us more about it?
Sure. A feasibility study is nothing but a research that covers two areas, or let's say two spectrums, qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative spectrum meaning they have to understand their targeted segment from a psychological point of view and from a cultural point of view.
Definitely.
Opening up a business, let's say a shawarma or a burger boutique, that doesn't mean everybody will like it.
Exactly.
You have to ensure that the customer is educated and the culture accepts such a thing before you run into the business itself.
Definitely.
So that's from the qualitative part. The quantitative part, as we mentioned before, they have to study the business from three areas: operations, marketing, and then finance.
Definitely.
And they have to set a strategic goal for their business, basically, and link all these together. And then they will have a feasibility study.
Definitely. So when it comes to people who want to start their own business, what can you say to them about visibility study and the importance of it?
Well, the thing is, lots of people come to me and they usually tell me, we know people, they've started their businesses without doing a feasibility study and they succeeded. Well, this is true and that's correct. A feasibility study is not mandatory, but when you do a feasibility study, you reduce the risk of failure.
Exactly.
There are no guarantees in business.
Exactly.
But our goal is to reduce the risk of failure.
Increase the safety also.
Increase the safety margin, let's put it that way. The thing is, you have lots of competitors in the market. If you don't learn from their mistakes, and if you don't set a budget, an operating budget, a marketing budget, a financial budget, the propensity of failure is huge in this case. So you have to reduce this, especially if you're opening up something that people are used to see, like a coffee shop or a burger restaurant or a hot dog, cafeteria. Or
we can see it everywhere, mashallah.
You can see it everywhere. So you always you need to have a competitive advantage. If you don't, in this case, the risk of failure is humongous. You have to do a feasibility study, in this case, to reduce the risk of failure in this case.
Okay. We want to take some predictions from you now.
Okay.
So we want to know about the future, or a prediction about the future of small businesses in Kuwait.
Well, I'll talk about Kuwait and the GCC in this case, because we're one family. It is the future. Our governments cannot keep tolerating staffing us in their body, I mean in their government entities. It's about time we hit the market and we return back to our roots. We are merchants, our grandfathers, ancestors, all of us are merchants. We're businessmen. We were born businessmen. We're born ready to be businessmen. So we have just to go back to our roots and start our small businesses. That's what most of our economies depend on when we were back in the days before even the oil itself. So we have just to go back. That's the future.
Exactly.
Just be smart, be creative, find your own competitive advantage, do your feasibility study and hit the market. You will succeed. If you don't succeed from the first time, the second or the third time, you will succeed.
Exactly, and having your own identity helps.
Exactly,
also.
And it will open up, you know, jobs for everyone.
Definitely.
And all these, you know, graduates, they need to learn some experiences. So imagine you have the right experience, the adequate experience. You open up your own business, and you hire new Kuwaitis or, you know, even foreigners.
Exactly.
Because we're one global village now,
exactly.
in the whole world. So you will transfer your experience to all these new graduates. And once they learn, they have enough experience, they will go and open up another business and so forth. It's like, you know, pumping up, you know, businesses here and there. And
exactly.
then the economy will grow in this case.
Definitely. So when we go to the field or the fields that that's included in small businesses, which field do you think we better focus on if we want to start a small business?
See, Corona has proven to us that entertainment industry, food industry, and on top of them all, online industry, e-commerce, are the best three industries that you have to invest in.
Only those three?
Especially, let's say especially those three.
Okay.
Even before health industry. These three are the main, let's put it that way, the soul of
Let's say the triple crown.
Thanks, exactly. The jack of all trades, these three.
Yeah.
So you have to invest in these three. Once you have invested in these three, you will have a great economy. Online, food, and entertainment, for sure.
Well, Engineer Talal, thank you so much for the valuable information you shared with us regarding small business. Do you have any last word or any advice for our dear viewers who want to start their own small business?
Sure. Start your own business, be courageous, but get enough experience. Before doing this, learn how to do a feasibility study, learn from the mistakes of your competitors, and then hit the market.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Engineer Talal. I'm sure we will continue the subject with you and other subjects regarding the business field on next or an episode coming soon, inshallah.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, and we wish you the best of luck with your future endeavors. Thank you. The viewers, we just had with us Engineer Talal Almuhanna, entrepreneur and economist. Now let's go to our second report of the evening. It's about the invention and the development of writing throughout history. Let's go back through history and we'll be right back.